What's up, everyone? So I just had the craziest experience with the two oldest ladies. They're so sweet. They stopped by. They didn't buy anything, but they said they were on their way, basically on their way to church, and they're running late. And they're such sweethearts, man. I enjoyed the conversation. I just got done smoking, and they're like, you're having a garage sale? I'm like, well, I'm moving south. I can't afford to take everything with me. I'm like, I'm about to bring everything out. And they're like, everything's inside. I'm like, yeah, but I kind of just got done smoking marijuana. And the oldest lady that had the oxygen in her nose, she just like that. And the other lady was like, oh, it's okay. My son smokes pot, and it got him off of pain medication. It's okay, And she's like, we'll come in. And they both came in, and they were looking at this table, man. They were really wanted this table, but then they asked me how much. I told them, I was like, before I tell you how much I want, I'm gonna tell you how much I paid first. I was like, I paid $800 for it, but I'm asking $400. I'm like, I'm workable on the price, because listen, man, it's a lot of money for some people, and people don't understand. Like, I worked my ass off for a lot of this stuff. I wasn't doing anything stupid, you know what I mean? Listen, I've done a lot of stupid stuff for nice things, and you know what? None of those things lasted. I don't have those things. So, trying to get the old man to, so old man's 93, right? Sorry, anyways, you guys already hear about the furniture anyways, enough. But anyways, the old man's got like, half of his garage is full of fucking bottles, man. Pop bottles. And he told me I could have them like 2 months ago, right? And he's hard to deal with, He don't want to be taken advantage of. And that's why I give him money all the time. I check up on him, He don't have money, people. But his garage is half full of bottles, and all those cats every time you go try to catch them, they run under his garage door. And they go under all the bottles of the empties, and it's such a pain in the ass to try to catch them. So, I fucking, I told him, look, man, I will, he already told me I could have all of them, first of all, 2 months ago. And then yesterday I told him, I'll see about taking them back and split it with them. And he said, yeah, that's cool. He's excited, he wanted the money. And then I told him, look, I'm tired, man. These cats been dying on me. I've been up, which are the cats that he's feeding, which is his fault, And,
the gas in that thing is right on the bottom.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really low.
That's why I gotta get this money together and stuff, and then people are stopping by. I was gonna take the bottles back this morning, but people are stopping by for my stuff.
Yeah.
When I get the money, if I can't get to the ATM, I gotta walk.
Okay.
As soon as I get some money, I'll throw you some money.
One of the kids down the street took one of the kittens last night.
That's good.
They were here before.
That's good.
One, but he couldn't find it. But he got one last night. He come running under by him.
That's good, because the two kittens that were out there, they're good cats.
That's good.
Another one died on me this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. An older one, a bigger one.
Where did he die from?
Respiratory infection.
Oh.
The lungs filled up with water this morning, and then it went to go drink some milk and started choking on it. Oh, I went to go give it CPR, and I blew air in its lungs, but the lungs were done, man. The lungs were too shot.
Yeah.
Breathing, had all that water in its lungs, infection for so long. The lungs couldn't take it no more.
I'll be damned. I haven't seen any out there except the big ones.
Well, I took them all.
Yeah.
They're all in my house.
There's still. Well, there was that one there.
Those are the two that.
Might be another.
Those are the two I didn't take because the mom already has them trained to be wild.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to break their spirit. They were. I brought those two in the house. I washed them, and they were fucking scratching me and tearing me up.
Oh yeah.
And they were scaring the other cats. So I had to get rid of them. So I kept all the cats that are fine. I can train to be house cats.
Okay.
So I'll see you in a couple hours, all right?
Okay.
See what I'm saying? It's and then dealing with the animal control, and he keeps on feeding them, you know what I mean? And then, like, I told him, I've been giving him money. I don't even want to use this truck, to be honest with you. And listen, every time I use this truck, I'm giving him 40, 50 bucks. I'm not giving him just 20 bucks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm dishing out a lot of money to help him out, to help out with these cats, you know what I mean? To help feed these cats. He's not putting that in retrospect, you know what I mean? And he's thinking I'm trying to get money out of him for the bottles. Dude, you just told me you could have them. I could have them. The cats, they're just sitting there, the cats, all the flies, all the mosquitoes, all the things, all the bugs that get, all the insects that climb in them and stuff. That shit needs to be taken out. My house is right next door. You know what I mean? Like, the rats, the possums, you know what I mean? Now I know why, there's so many animals coming over here. They smell that shit. In one of my videos, there's a blind possum over here. I've been feeding the blind possum. I feed the damn deer. The deer come to this window right here. If you ever buy this house, the deer will come to this window. If you have apples, you can sit here with a bag of apples, whatever, fucking apples, period, and feed them. They'll eat right out of your hand, apples right out of your hand. And that's because the lady around the block, she caught them eating from her bird feeder. They would knock down her bird feeder all the time. And, because I talk to everyone. Listen, that's what I do. I travel, I talk to people. That's what I do, man. My background, military, I like to travel. It's in my blood. I try. I love people. I travel, and that's another thing that intrigued me about the Bible as well. I've read the Quran many times, but the Quran doesn't. It's not based around people, and it's based around God. It has a lot of scientific stuff that I know is true. But I also know that scientific stuff it speaks of was also taken from Jesus, because Jesus was around the same time Prophet Muhammad was around. Which, if you do the research, people are going to disagree with me. This is why I don't care though. The Quran was created which I mentioned on my Facebook, which went viral. The original one went viral. For my original writing my book. Well, my poems I was writing. I quoted from the book that I want to finish. That's why I'm heading south, because they got a place that published it for me, and I want to be down there to finish it before I turn it in to get proofread and, edited and published. But the Quran was created to control a massive amount of people religiously, which the Bible clearly speaks of many, many times in the Torah, how that was happening. And Jesus was the one that hated religion, period. He hated it. If you read everything that he spoke of and did, was against it. Now, if you read the Quran, right, and you read the Bible clearly speaks of all these things that have happened, these crazy ass things that have happened that they can't explain. They're all written testimonies, right, of several different people that have all lined up, right, all from different periods of time, right, put together, woven together, right, found in different areas around the world by influence of, archaeologists and, Christians, people, that wrote it, people, it's humans. But the Quran says that Jesus faked his death. That he didn't die. that the disciple that traded Jesus in for the money that the Bible says that Jesus got traded in for money. The Quran says that's a lie. The Quran says that it's a lie that Judas, the one that traded Jesus in for the 10 pesos, the $10, whatever they call denarius or whatever, whatever you want to call it, money, says that they put him on the cross instead of Jesus, that Jesus never died. Now, here's my first thing. I know that's a lie. Because there's written testimony in the Bible says that they stuck a spear in the side of Jesus, right? And Jesus said, asked God to forgive them, was begging on the cross to forgive them. Written testimony, 4 different people, written testimony saying that Jesus was speared by these people, right? With his mom there. His mom was there. Bathsheba was there. His girl, his woman was there. Jesus had a woman. You think Jesus didn't have a woman? Come on, man. Listen. He came down in human form. God came down in human form to show us how to live. You think he didn't have a woman to show us how to be with a woman? If you ever look at the table, look. Look at Jesus' table. Look. There's Jesus right there, right? Look at all those men. Look who's next to him. That's not Mary. That's not his mother. That's not Bathsheba. That's fucking Mary Magdalene. I don't know why I said Bathsheba. Bathsheba is the one that David raped. Well, didn't rape. It's hard to say because I guess it could be considered rape because he's a king, and she gave it up because first it's a king. Who wouldn't give it up to a king? It's like a respecting honor thing. And then who's gonna say no to him? You know what I mean? It's the king. But enough said. We could go into all these different reasons that she could have had. That the evil one, or the spirit of love, tricked her. Not tricked her, but you know what I'm saying. The evil tricked her. But look, that's Mary Magdalene next to Jesus, man. That's facts. That is definitely Mary Magdalene next to Jesus. And, he said, I am the bread and I am the life. He said, you must believe in me and believe in, listen, man, when you eat the bread of life, when you go to Mass and you eat in Acts, the reason why they do it, right, is because if you read Acts, right, the disciples were going from town to town after they left Jesus. They were going from town to town, right, and all these people were sick. And Jesus told them, go out, and heal these people. But you must believe that you can heal. And they were going around, just knocking on doors, just like the Jehovah's Witnesses do. But the Jehovah's Witnesses don't do it right. They don't. Anyways, we'll get to it. The reason why they were going from house to house is because when you eat, Jesus said, eat the bread, drink the water and believe that you're drinking my blood. Believe that you are drinking my blood. Believe that you are eating my flesh. That's what it said. Instead of sacrificing the animals, right? He sacrificed himself. God sacrificed himself and said, okay, now instead of this, we're going to do this now. You must believe and believe in Jesus and eating Jesus and drinking. So not only do you have to believe in your head when you worship Jesus, when you eat you eat it and you drink, you drink the cup. Make sure you cleanse yourself, you forgive before you do this, because it ain't going to do anything for you if you don't. And then it's you gotta listen, man. You gotta do this a lot. You gotta do this like 3-4 times a day, And the belief is what is good for you. That's what changes you. That's what heals you. And when these disciples were going, I forgot the other topic I was going to touch on, but the disciples, they would go to these towns and they seen it working. They were going from door to door, and they were healing all the sick. So, these people were following the disciples, like, but that's what, I forget what the topic I was going to touch on. I got so much going on, man. I can't wait. Listen, I'm by myself. I got these cats, everything. I'm tired. I don't have no lemon, no water. I haven't drank no water yet. I haven't even had coffee. I cracked a Red Bull because people are showing up. Like, I don't even... Anyways, go read Acts. Go read Acts. And go do Mass. And when I remember to touch on it, I'll touch on it. I'll do another video. I'm about to get going anyways. So I'm about to give this crock pot to to Broham. So Broham, the guy at the Cadillac you guys seen in the videos, he brought me grapes. The grapes I was eating, and stuff. I like him, man. I like him a lot, dude. I like that old man. And he says he don't have a garage, but he has a bunch of food in the house and stuff. And that crock pot is a rival crock pot. It's antique. It is. It's from the 70s, man. And it still works. It's all aluminum, And what's funny is I posted it on the internet for a high price. Because, it's nostalgia to me, you know what I mean? And it reminds me of my mom, And it's the original first one, the original one that came out, the first one. The first run. It has this label. Only the first one came with this label, the first line. I'm going to give it to him.